Hey guys, so today I kind of want to just make this video about my thoughts of the Cincinnati Bengals football season. So, I'm a big Bengals fan, I'm making constantly a lot of Bengals videos. I'm going to make all sorts of sports videos, maybe, it depends. I'll make them when I feel like making them. I might make one like 5 times a day. I might not make one for months, might not make one for years, but I'll make them when I feel like it. So, the Cincinnati Bengals season. What did I think of this season of the Bengals? Mixed things, like everybody else. There were some things I found extremely positive, such as, how we came back from that 3-5 start. We got on a super hot streak. Let me go through our whole season. We started out with that blowout loss to Baltimore, but that was just a week 1 game. I wasn't too worried after that. I was pretty upset because I was looking forward to it for a month before it happened. But I realized, it's opening week. We were just working out the kinks. And then the second week we come out, we beat the Browns in a thriller, high-scoring game. You get kind of worried about your defense. They gave up almost 80 points in 2 games when it's one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. And then who they play? Then they play, who was it? Washington. And we beat Washington 38-31. I remember that game. That was one of my favorite games to watch. It was really exciting. Even though, once again, it's a little worrying about our defense. But it was a heck of a game. It was a shootout, high scoring. Andy Dalton, man, the first 4 weeks of the season, Andy Dalton looked like an all-pro quarterback. I'm not even kidding. His first 4 weeks in the season, I would have put him easily in my top 10 quarterbacks. He had, the 4th highest pass rate in the NFL. He had, all these touchdowns, all these yards. The only problem he had was throwing 1 pick every game. I don't have a problem with him throwing 1 pick every game. I'm okay with that. But then he started getting into throwing a lot. And that's when it started. Then after that, we played Jacksonville, and we won that game easy, to Jacksonville. We won 27-10. AJ Green, I forgot to talk about him. What a boss. He's just so amazing at everything. Andrew Hawkins really stepped up, too. The first game of the year, he had 80 yards. Then he had 100-something. And, he had a really good, first 4 weeks like AJ. It was just so fun to watch. A group of guys, just coming out there, just doing what they do best. Andrew Hawkins is a great player, in my opinion. I feel like we need to give him the ball more. He is so good in open space. No one can tackle that little dude. He's like a little speed demon. He's runs around people. It's like, Andrew Hawkins up in here. We got to get the ball to Andrew Hawkins more, man. Andrew Hawkins is a total boss. AJ Green, top 5 receiver in the NFL. What more can I say? We already know he's a total boss. Jermaine Gresham, I have mixed feelings about that dude. He pisses me off in so many ways. But, first 4 weeks were pretty good. 3-1. We didn't really beat anybody that good. Washington wasn't good back then. They got good towards the end of the year. And then we played Miami. Huge favorite to win that football game. What do? We go out, we cough it up to Miami. Andy Dalton, 2 interceptions that day. AJ Green, a fumble and a drop. So AJ Green didn't have a great game. He had 9 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. AJ Green, that's a good day for another wide receiver. But for AJ Green, that's not very good for AJ Green. But, he had a really good day. Not really, but Andy Dalton didn't look that good either. 250 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. Horrible game. Hated that game. Then after that, it just got worse. We played the Cleveland Browns. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? The Cleveland Browns. So you're telling me we can go out and beat them earlier this year, beat Washington, but we can't beat the Cleveland Browns. And we can beat the New York Giants. I mean, we can beat the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we can't beat the Cleveland Browns. Really? We lose to the Cleveland Browns by like 10 points. It was like our second worst loss of the year after the opener. We didn't really get blown out much this year. That was my only, that was the only thing, I can say positive. Well, not the only. Andy Dalton, man. Oh, and then we played the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, man, Andy Dalton. We were winning like 24-6 at half. And then we ended up blowing the game. We got like shut out in the second half, I think. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I remember that day, A.J. Green had 1 catch for 8 yards and a touchdown. So, easily, without a doubt, A.J. Green's worst day of the season. And probably the worst day of his whole career. Really bad day, man. Horrible day. And then, who do we have next? Oh yeah, Pittsburgh. We already lost to Pittsburgh. Then we had our bye. Then we had Denver. I was actually kind of impressed with. Dalton played good that day, in my opinion. He had like 300 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But like the pick wasn't really his fault. And good day. I mean, it was a tough loss. We lost to Denver, a pretty good team. I mean, I wasn't too bad. I mean, I thought our playoff chances were over. I mean, we were 3-5 after that day, so I was just like, you know what, season's over, let's just have some fun, let's see if we can go compete with teams like we're doing, maybe we might get a win here and there, and what happens, we come out, we squash the New York Giants, the defending Super Bowl champs. We go out there and squash them, 34-13, and it could have been worse. It was shocking. It starts off with a deep A.J. Green touchdown. Like a 60-something yard pass from Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's best day of his career. Well, not his career. I say the best day of his career was against Washington or Cleveland earlier this year. But today, this was definitely one of his best days. 4 touchdowns. He only had 200 yards, though, but 4 touchdowns, man. Awesome day for my man Dalton. Andrew Hawkins had a touchdown. A.J. Green, of course. Jermaine Gresham. Awesome day. Oh, yeah, Mohamed Sanu. Man, that day was awesome. I watched that game so many times on Rewind. I rewatched all the games on Rewind because, I don't want to be one of those guys who, like, comes in here and, like, talks and, like, I really don't know what I'm talking about like a lot of people do. So, we won that. I was getting pretty excited. Then we got, probably the best game right after this we could possibly get. The Kansas City Chiefs. Or the Kansas City Queefs, if you want to call them that. Because, I mean, let's face it. They suck. So we go in there, we squash them like 28-6 or something like that. A.J. Green had one of the best catches I've ever seen with that one-handed touchdown. Right after Devin Smith's touchdown from Ohio State. Yeah, man. There. Up there somewhere. Ohio State. Yeah. And then after that, so we're sitting at 5-5. It's looking okay for us. I mean, there's not a huge chance we should make the playoffs, but there is a chance. Then we go in at Oakland. We squash them as expected, 34-10 or something like that, or something, I don't remember. Dalton played good. Palmer didn't. Geno Atkins, he had like 3 sacks on the day. I forgot to mention Geno. Geno's a boss. So we do that. We're 6-5. Then we go to San Diego. This is where worries start. Our offense today. Our offense has been consistent all year long, putting up points. And then we go to San Diego. What does our offense do? They put up, like, 20 points. Like, season low, I think. You know, I mean, 20 points, you know, was our season low. I was sitting there like, okay, you know what I mean? It's San Diego, a pretty decent football team. You know, they're not bad. I think they're better than what their record says. You know, it was a tough game. I actually went to San Diego to go see that. That was a fun time. 7-5, looking good for us. Then we have the Dallas Cowboys. I remember being so pumped to face the Dallas Cowboys because I got a friend and he's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, and I just really wanted to squash the Cowboys. I was talking smack to this kid all week. All week I talked smack to this kid. I mean, we sat there, we went back and forth. It was so funny. He's a big Des Bryant fan, and he likes to comment on me for liking Ray Lewis. Never mind, that's not the point. We lose this game, I was so pissed. Not just only because it hurt our chances at the playoffs, but secondly because my friend was going to brag. I mean, that's to be expected, kind of. So, sitting at 7-6, things aren't that bad, I guess. Then we win against, who was it? It was Philadelphia. And then we end up being 8-6. You know, it's like pretty. We gotta beat Pittsburgh to make it. So then, at 8-6, we go into Pittsburgh. Huge underdog. What do? We win. We win that football game. We won it. We won it fair and square. You know why? Because Andy Dalton, even though he didn't play good, he was clutch. He was clutch in the fourth quarter. Made one of the best throws I've ever seen to A.J. Green. And A.J. Green, of course, catches it. A.J. Green had 10 catches for like 130 yards against him. A.J. Green, man. A.J. Green, I just love the dude. So, looking pretty good. We're made the playoffs. And then we beat. Then next we got Baltimore, and that was just a throwaway game. We rest all our starters. We won. And then we get beat in the playoffs. Alright, here's what I say. Re-sign Andrew Hawkins, which I know we are. We already kind of did, even though we didn't. You know, Andy Dalton, a lot of people hate on him. I don't really know yet if I want to say I think he's our franchise quarterback or not. I mean, I really like the guy. He seems like a nice guy. I feel like he works hard. I feel like he doesn't have the athletic ability of Carson Palmer. But I feel like he can work hard and get good at it. I feel like if we stay patient with him and wait till his 5th year, if he hasn't done anything by his 5th year, then we release him. You know, I kind of see a little bit of Flacco in him, you know. He's going in there, you know, to the playoffs every year. You know, he chokes in the playoffs. He gets a lot of hate, but he makes it every year, you know. I mean, I don't know what to think, you know. You guys can comment. Tell me what you think about Dalton. I love our offense. You know, I think we need some major adjustments in our offensive line. We need another receiver to help A.J. Green. What else? Linebackers, Ray Maluga sucks. I'm so glad we're going to get rid of him. Vontez Burfict, man, he's a man, though. You know, I mean, Geno Atkins, boss. You know, we got to make some changes, though. You know what I mean? I think Andy Dalton, we keep him for 4 or 5 years, see if he does anything. If you don't, fine, release him. But I feel like if you just say, hey, next year is your last year to prove yourself, that's going to put too much pressure on him. And then I feel like next year, you know, every pass he makes, he's going to be scared he's going to lose his job. And I feel like we can't do that. So yeah, guys, Who Dey, I'm looking forward to next season. I got a really good feeling about next year. You know, I know all fans say that about their team every year, but I really do. I'm just already so pumped. Man, guys, Who Dey.